We are. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome to another episode of Dissect. Of course, I go by the name of Novelist.
And I am Jewel.
Welcome back, Joe.
Thank you.
A little time off.
Yeah, sometimes we deserve a break.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a nice little break. Last week's show was great.
Mm-hmm.
Shout outs to Carrie Ann. Yeah,
Yes.
we spoke about bringing her back. It was very. I don't know if you watched the show, but it was nice.
Yeah, I did check out a little bit of the episode. Yes, I did.
All right. And tonight we're having another important discussion. Something that our people again really need to check up on, and it's pretty much in the same line of last week's conversation.
Yeah.
It'll be a pretty interesting show.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like
Uh,
your t-shirt, by the way. I
Thank you.
like that.
Thank you. Have a whole bunch of music things going on there. All
Yeah,
right, so I guess we'll be back in two twos.
that's right.
So I'm Janine Zabi Cross. I'm Janelle Zabi. And where's Zabi Street?
This is Wetty Beats on the inside and we're ready to
Who are you, Jewel? I think you have hidden talents that you're not talking about.
I just get you at the bar. Ain't no bar, Mr. Drum.
Yeah.
I can honestly say that they've done such a good job with hospitality and welcoming all people in.
Well, Samantha Moon.
So my name is Claudette Alona Peters.
I am Selena. And then that's how it started. When I came home,
My name is Pumba. Stage name, of course.
Well, I was born in Spanish Town, Jamaica.
I am Evelina Blanc.
I am a mother first. I think I'm a really wonderful friend. Did a really great business.
I gotta be ready because you're like, oh, she picked that. No, I didn't.
Yep. I am Kendra Stephen. I am Rena Charles, aka Mystery.
I take people forward in victory.
And welcome back. And like I said, we have an interesting guest tonight. So, Joelle, if you may.
Yes. So you know what? We've been going strong with the women, the educated women coming to educate you. So why not continue on that streak? So tonight we have Sophia Waterman. She is a life insurance agent. She's coming to tell you, the viewers, all about how to secure yourself while you're alive and to secure your family when you're gone. So welcome, Sophia Waterman, to Dissect.
Thank you guys for having me here. Thank you, Jewel. Thank you, Novelist.
Thank you for joining us.
Appreciate the opportunity.
Nice. So how's everything going with you?
Oh, thank God. Good. Great. Thank you.
Enjoying our beautiful weather so far?
Oh, yeah. I had the luxury of seeing a guy bareback, so that just wrapped up the day.
Yeah, made the heat turn on over here, right?
So, I don't know. You want to tell us a little bit more about yourself, your background, and stuff like that?
Yeah, where do I start? Actually, 15 years ago this year, I single mom, 4 jobs, 3 jobs, 4 children, heading to work when the unforeseen happened. My car went under tractor trailer.
Oh.
After spending 5 months in the hospital, 20 days in coma, while in the hospital, one of my colleagues called me to get my job. Imagine, I'm fighting for my life. She's fighting for my job.
Wow.
Needless to say, 3 years later, my boss called me to resign or come back to work, knowing I couldn't come back to work. I resigned, had no idea what I was going to do, put myself back to Sheridan College, graduated with honors in HR, worked 5 months and realized I'm doing the same thing again. 3 months later, a colleague called me and said, listen, I have this opportunity for you. I'm like, yeah, I've done these Mary Kay and all these things. Oh, no. I reached out to him months later. And that day, Mr. Novelist, the information I heard that they changed my life forever. And I realized a lot of people don't know about finances. We are lacking. I had everything, but yet I had nothing. And that is what kept me going in this field. Yeah.
Oh, that is a heck of a story.
Yeah. Synopsis of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So from there, you were kind of, I guess, introduced to a different way of life or a different life, like almost, right?
For sure. Yeah.
Wow. Tell us about that. Like where it started. Like, okay, a colleague introduced you and said think about this. How did that start? How did it progress for you?
Yes. So I went to that's after quitting HR. I had no idea what I was going to do, but I guess the Lord has his own plans. So when I went, I called him and I said, I noticed you haven't reached out to me for some months. Can I come and still see that thing you told me about? He said, yes. When I got there, I was like the only person was a full room, but I was so at awe with the things I've learned. I mean, excuse me, you mean to say had I died, my kids would have gone into foster care? I'm from St. Vincent. St. Vincent, you die, your kids go to your family. Here in Canada, it's a different story.
Right.
You mean to tell me my house would have been sold just like that and given to whomever, whatever, and then the rest? So the things in them I've learned, I said, okay, I got my sister, I got my brother, I got everybody I love, and those people. I say, even though you want to bring your friend of me, bring them. They need to know. And that I start changing my lifestyle, changing the things I have set up for myself, because I realized I had nothing. Had I died that day, my kids would have been in a disaster.
Yeah.
It would have been really bad for them.
Wow.
And a lot of people don't think about those things. You know, they think they lived for today and not for tomorrow, or think about tomorrow and what happens when you're gone, right? So
yes, what happened. And we see, especially in our generation, in our culture, we're seeing a lot of GoFundMe. And one might say, how come they have a great lifestyle, but yet they're on GoFundMe? But a lot of people are good at selling, Joel. A lot of people are good at selling, but a lot of people are not good at educating.
yeah.
Once you educate somebody and another person come and say, oh, that is not good, because you have sat and spent time educating them. Then when somebody else come and say, oh, that's not good, and a lot of people life a mess up like that, then they say, no, my advisor educated me, and this is what is crucial for me. This is what my needs are. You understand? This is what my need is. You can't sway me any other way. Right? And if we do that first to our community, then we can see the difference in the way people live. We can see the difference in the crime rate in our neighborhoods. A lot of that is significant, because insurance does play a difference in the environment as well. Yeah.
So do you have to be a certain age to sign up for life insurance? Like, well, obviously you have to be an adult, but like what age?
No,
Oh,
you don't have to be an adult.
Okay.
The only time you have to be an adult if you want to be the owner of the policy.
Okay.
So from the time you're 2 days old, you can sign up for life insurance. And from the time you're 30 days old, you can sign up for critical illness. A lot of the people saying, oh, why should I insure my child? Or why should I put a critical illness? Back in the days, oh, you want to take insurance and you want to kill me? No. You have to know the need. Somebody called me today and they asked me, can you give me insurance for my son? My son is 27. I said, I can't just say, I'm going to give your son A, B, or C, because I don't know the needs.
Right.
I have to first do a needs analysis for your son, see where he is, if there's a need. And then based on that, then I can offer you something. So the critical illness comes in, for example, if critical illness wasn't important, Sick Kids Hospital would not have been there.
Right.
Do you agree with me with that?
Agree.
Exactly. So we know that kids do get sick. So instead of you have to take time off from work to go and sit down, time off from work, no money coming in, no income coming in, because you maybe the sole parent, or you might be the parent that is bringing in the money that can stay with the child because you have another child at home. So
Mm-hmm.
that lump sum of money can help you transition your life better. It can't stop the sickness, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
However, it can cushion the blow of financial problems.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So
A lot of people fail to realize that you could actually have, well, I guess you could explain it to us. Like you could be alive and benefiting from the insurance plan. Like for
yes.
example, like you gave one example, critical illness, and there's others, obviously, right? So
Yes. This
yeah.
disability.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, in my case, I was disabled, but there was no income coming in. If you, a lot of people forget it. Oh, I don't want insurance. I have this. I have work. Let's, for example, work. I have work insurance, but a lot of us, we're seeing laid off. We're seeing sickness make us can't go back to work. We're seeing different reasons. Sometimes oppression at the work make you don't want to go back to that job.
Right.
What happens when you move from that job?
Mm-hmm.
You still have to survive. So you become critically ill, or your group insurance doesn't pay for critical illness. You become disabled short term. Yes, you go on long term for how much? 30%, 60% or so forth of your income.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a short, so it all depends. It's a lot. And if you're not injured at work, then you don't have WSIB.
Right.
Does WSIB provide for injury at work?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have that personal income. And the reason why we encourage it, age and sickness, illness plays a significant difference, and age. So I can get a policy. Like I did a quote for a family. The child is 17, $35. I can give them $50,000 permanent with critical illness, $50,000 critical illness. And that permanent has what we call like a living benefit, in the sense as there's a cash flow. If that increases the 6% illustration that I illustrated, continue 6% or more, that's an income there. That is a cash flow that is growing. If anything happens, that cash flow is available to that child.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? If something doesn't happen, if something happened to you, then your insurance goes to them for school. You don't want your child to, I think we don't want our children to do it in the same level like us.
Right.
Why shouldn't they be better? Why should we set a standard for them? Why should we give them a break in their life? Why should they have to struggle to survive, struggle to make it, when we have an opportunity to set a mark for them, give them opportunity to say, you know what, I put this for you, I'm going to put this for 20 years. By the time you're 20, 25, 30, you have this for yourself. Now is what are you going to do with it? Are you going to just squander it? Or are you going to do give it away? What are you going to do with it? And we see from the story in the Bible where the prodigal sons, right? We see one stayed home and do whatever the father said, and they took his money and did whatever with it. So we're not saying that that child will do right by you, but there are ways that you can protect it, and that is what we call irrevocable.
Right. There's a question here from a viewer. Does your health matter when getting insurance?
Of course, it does.
Mm-hmm.
Because the sicker you are, and that's one thing I like with the company I partner with, is that there is no illness that you cannot get insurance. However, the amount. So you're healthy, Joel, and you want insurance, you can get million, whatever, depending on your financial needs.
Right.
But a person who is sick now is limited. They might only be limited to 10,000, 50,000, 25,000.
Mm-hmm.
So even though that they have home, they have all these assets, they don't have much to protect the assets because they're too sick to afford or to be qualified for insurance.
Right. And it makes sense, right? Because obviously it's a business and, they have to protect their assets as well, right? It's just like even like buying a home, they don't really want to give mortgages to people who are older because they said they're going to be retiring, they won't have income coming in, and they may die, while they have this mortgage. So it's a business and it's understandable. And just as you said, your insurance company, not a lot of them insure people who have illnesses already.
Yes.
So that's something important to know about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have my own personal questions, but Novelist, you have any? How about your age? Does your age matter? Is that a factor?
Yes, significantly. The older you are, like I did a quote for somebody, I think I got him, I think he was 85 that year. He could have gotten up to 100. Now he has to pay. So he has to pay 200 and something dollars a month for something that would have cost him many years earlier, maybe on $100. Right. So, and then after some companies, once you're 75, you can't apply again. Or once you're 85, some company will take you as old as 85. But then again, the premium is significantly higher.
Right.
And then health now going to step into that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I guess I think for me, I would like the viewers who are watching us on Facebook, YouTube,
Welcome,
Instagram,
guys.
you know, all over. I just wanted to have them be educated about the true benefits of you know, when you aren't there, what happens? You know, how is that money disseminated? And you know, do they have to get an executor? You know, like these kind of things. Sometimes people don't know about these things and they're afraid to ask. You know, so if you can just educate us a little bit more on. Well,
yeah. So when so remember I talked earlier about the child.
Mm-hmm.
You might want to set some standards in place. So what I normally suggest to mother is, listen, you put on your policy that you're the irrevocable beneficiary. Should that child come up and they decide to be wayward, only how that child can make any decision on that policy is with you, because you are the irrevocable beneficiary. They can only change the payment, the pay date. They can only change the pay date or cancel. Anything else, they can't change the beneficiary, they can't change anything else without your permission, because it's irrevocable. And if you don't set that standard early, by the time they're 16 and can reach their own age and they do their own thing, they can call and say, listen, this is I'm the insured, I'm the thing of the policy, and I would like it to be my owner. You know, there's different things that they can do because we didn't lock in. So as a parent, is easiest how to keep control is to lock in yourself as the irrevocable beneficiary. Another thing again, when you have, sometimes you may not trust somebody, you open a trust, you put the insurance in a trust for your young child. And then that person, as you know, they always say you can test somebody by money. I say you put money in an evil hand, you still get evil. Doesn't matter the money. You understand? So you might put somebody in trust of your child, but they may not have ethical thing when it comes to money. You might know them at one level, and now they're doing that. So it's always good to put two people just in case that this person doesn't want to do what you say. And executor, two things that we always talk about your estate. Two things that boycott your estate: life insurance and segregated fund. And only a life insurance agent can sell segregated fund.
And what is the segregated fund?
Yeah, segregated fund is a mutual fund with a life jacket. And what I mean by that is, mutual fund is the bank. The banks sell mutual fund, and most financial companies, they sell mutual fund. And then the segregated fund now comes with a jacket on it. So it says you put in money, you have your money there for 15 days, you qualify for a guarantee. If the market, you put in 100,000 and you sign a contract for 75 or 100, you want 100% guarantee of your money to be there. Most older people do that because they want their money to be left to their loved ones and so forth. Or younger people say, you know what, I want to capitalize on the interest rate, so I will do 75, 100, so I can get that, right? That more interest coming in, and later on, I can always take that money out and put it into 100, so I can get that safety net. So the life jacket says, listen, if that market goes down to 50,000, the insurance company has to top it up by 25,000.
Okay.
Or 50,000 to make it 100,000. Depends on the contract. The other thing is, if I die now and I leave $500,000 in debt, and I had that segregated funds going for years, nobody is not going to be public record. A mutual fund, you can go on the Bank of Canada and see how much now they kind of mimic the amount. but you can actually see the person have money into the bank account, right?
Oh, wow.
Your crypto is considered your estate, your mutual fund estates, your GICs, your stock, all those things are considered estate and will be taken for probate, will be taxed on probate when you die, right?
Mhm.
It's deemed dispositioned. So everything will just be there and the government will put a charge. So now the segregated fund is going to boycott, it's going to give you that leverage right away and boycott all that, and all that goes to your beneficiary.
Okay.
Right?
So would that be like a one fee or is it additional? Like, so you have your life insurance and then to get that life jackets, as you speak of, is that an additional fee? Or is it
It's
one fee?
technically, it's one thing technically, but it's embedded in it another way. But the thing about it, the premium is a little bit higher normally than a mutual fund.
Okay.
Even though it's not separated to say, oh, you're going to pay 5.5% more or 0.05% more. It's not. But when you compare apple to apple, the premium generally, it's a little bit, not premium, sorry, the MER, sorry, is a little bit higher than a mutual fund MER because of the guarantees, the probate taxes, and you also have the probate taxes, you have the guarantee of the return on investment should it fulfill at the 100%. If debt, you get back 100%, and in the market value 75%, or you can do 100% as well.
What is a M? Is it MAR or MER?
MER, which is management expense ratios.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So that pays for this, that, all the different little integrity that you see out there. That they will tell you, do your own crypto, whatever, do your own management. Who have time to do that?
No.
But even though they say that there is not this amount of fees, you can't go into, because there's some funds that are only to advisors, only available to advisors. So when you do it yourself, you just get in the mediocre of the pot. I mean, people have bun, but everybody love bun. So when you do it yourself, you're basically enjoying the bun of the meal instead of enjoying the main meal. Yeah.
So there was a few questions that came in while Novice, you have a question. I was just going to look through the questions that were coming in.
I was going to ask, how does one go about getting the right insurance? Like, how do you know what is right for you?
Great question. As I mentioned earlier, off the screen, I mentioned that somebody called me and said, listen, I need insurance for my son. And I said, I just can't give you insurance. I don't know what the son needs.
Right.
So it's very important to go through what they call a needs analysis. Because I might say, novelist, I want to do it. Because I want business, right? I'm excited. Let me give you 500,000. Let me give you 200,000. Let me give you 25,000. But when I give you 25,000, you might need $1 million. When I give you 500,000, you might only need 50,000. How will I know? I get a sale, but did I do right by you? No, I didn't. Okay. So what we do what they call a needs analysis, financial needs analysis, see where you are, find out what your goals are. You understand? What goal do you have? Do you have medium-term goals, long-term goals, or short-term goals? Some people might have a car, right? So it depends on what you want. What do you want the insurance for? Do you want it for children, for your children's school? Because you have the dime method, right? Your debt. Do you have debt? Do you want to cover your debt so when you're gone, somebody pays it off and it doesn't go to your family?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Income. Are you the loan income of the family? Do you want 1 year, 2 years, 10 years of your income? They say normally it takes 10 years for a family to truly recover from a death. Mm-hmm. Do you want that family to get 10 years of your income, 2 years, 1 year, so forth? Do you have a mortgage? Maybe you don't have a mortgage. Do you have expenses? Who's going to pay your taxes that you haven't filed yet? Who's going to pay for all the debt that you owe now? Who's going to pay for your funeral? Who's going to pay for everything concerning your final expenses? Who's going to pay for them? Where's the money going to come from? Mm-hmm. So doing the needs analysis tell us exactly where you are and where you need to go. Mm-hmm. And how can we help you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a question in the back here. As a sick person, what happens when you pay more than you're entitled to? And do you continue paying when I think I'm trying to understand what the person's saying is they're paying into the insurance if they're sick, and they pay into the insurance, but their payout is less than they're supposed to get. I think that's what they mean. If not, please rewrite your question for clarification. Novelist, can
So,
you decipher what it means?
if you're sick, okay, let me try see if I can see if it's this he's saying. Yes, when you're sick, the premiums are generally higher. Sometimes, don't get it wrong, it's the insurance company that determines, do I want to rate this person? Do I want to decline this person? Do I want to make this person standard? You can be sick and still not pay a rated price. You can be sick and still pay for standard price. So it's not us as the agent that determines whether or not you're rated, whether or not you're declined, or whether or not you're standard. And any of that can depend on the price. So if you're rated, they might say you're rated because you're smoking, you have been unhealthy for a long time, we're going to rate you. Or because you're constantly driving, risky driving, we're going to decline any accident from this kind of driving, from this golfing, whatever it is. Not just giving an example, right? Or they will say, you know what? Since you've been doing this for years, I have not seen anything. There's nothing really wrong with doing this. You're going to be standard. So they're the ones that actually determine, and they're going to send us back and say, listen, this person can get this product, but they must be rated, or I'm going to exclude. I'm going to exclude this particular thing. So if they continue smoking, or if they continue drinking excessively, or if they continue doing these risky things, I'm going to exclude that under that risky thing. And then I'm going to come back to you and I'm going to say, listen, based on what you said here, the insurance are willing to cover you, but they're going to exclude you if you go to Turkey every year and you die in Turkey, they're not going to cover you.
Okay.
That's something like that. Yeah.
Okay. There was a question of, you were speaking of some type of insurance, and the person wanted to know, is this whole life insurance? What is the difference between whole life and term life?
Okay. So typically for life insurance, as you know, there's living benefits insurance, what we discussed already, disability, long-term care, and critical illness. There are three also of insurance. Term life insurance, as I mentioned earlier, if you have a mortgage, that's term, because the mortgage is a term. You have children, they're 0 age or 5 years. You want them to go to school and have a good life in the next 20 years. You do a 20-year term just to cover that if anything happens to you before that period of time, right? Then you have also your debt. What somebody has OSAP or different debt. You might have credit line, different debts. So those are all term. You might have 7 years to pay it off. They might have 20 years. Those are all term. So term insurance is good for temporary things.
Okay.
Because you can't put a term on your life. Nobody going to say, oh my God, please let me die. My insurance going to up next week or next month. Please, Lord. Nobody going to do that. But that's what term in essence does, right?
Right.
The other thing is universal life. Universal life is one of the most flexible insurance. It's one of the last that come into play. And it has been a very successful. A lot of people are looking into it now because of the flexibility of universal life. A universal life, somebody want to go to Trinidad and have fun. They're going to say, listen, Sophie, I need to go to Trinidad 6 months, 5 months. I don't want to pay insurance while I'm in Trinidad. I can call the company and say, listen, my clients wants to put their money on their insurance on premium holiday. How many months or years can they go without paying? The insurance company might say they can go 2 years, a year and a half, 6 months, 9 months. I say, okay, then put them on 6 months vacation. Just like so they're on vacation, their policy on vacation, the money that they have in the investment portion now will be paying for that policy until they come back.
So they're still covered while they're...
Yes.
Because they paid into it already.
Yes, because that investment is still paying for it, right? The other thing about universal life, some people, one of my clients, she didn't want the U.S. funds. So you can determine what funds you want, what kind of funds you want your money to invest, because there's the insurance part and there is the income part, the savings part, right? So tax deferred savings. So you can say, okay, I like America. I like how this, I did like European fund. I like whatever. So we can sit together, see your risk assessment, and your time horizon obviously will be long, most depending on the age of the person. Most time, the time horizon, the objective is for, if it's for the temporary bills or if it's for estate planning. So all that we take into consideration. That's why when people say, oh, insurance, I say it's a law. It's more than what people make it to be. Because if you do it right, you can win. If you don't do it right, you could be at loss, while we, the advisor, be the winners. And that's not what we want. We want both of us to be the winners. First, the client must win. And as a reward for us making the clients win, we get that reward. Is that when you act and you do that good acting, and after the acting, they say, "Woo, congratulations, you're selected for Best Actress," something like that. That's what we want. And then the whole life now is also your own, like the universal life. You're the owner of it, unlike the term where the all that money you pay go back to the company if you don't die or pray to die. The whole life and the universal life, both of your owners. The whole life, you do not have that flexibility to do that. You either pay till it run out and then it's gone, or you pull out the money that is there, or there's different. They're trying to make it flexible now, but it's not flexible. You don't have an option where your money go. They will tell you, listen, 5% return, 6% return, 7% return, and that's it. With the universal life, I can say 6%, but the market goes up to 43%, 10%, go down to 2%, 3%. You're not going to say 3% until 40 years from now.
Right.
You understand? But you have the potential of making more because you're top within in the market. The whole life is just whatever the city giving you is that. So it doesn't matter where they put that money and they reinvest that money, they're still going to give you 7%. But where the money was invested, you have no idea. You have no control over that.
So this is a thing. I was having this discussion with one of my colleagues, and I work for one of the largest school boards in Canada, and the largest, and they have this thing. So we were discussing the life insurance, and the way I understood it after speaking with her, I understood it that it's a term life, because once you no longer work for that company, you no longer really have the benefits of that insurance. So, and that's the trick to a lot of companies where say, oh, I have life insurance at work, I don't need to top it up. And you know, the more people are educated, the more they understand it, because you know, that's the problem. You know, if you don't work there anymore, because I'm looking towards retirement, and this is why the discussion came up, and it was, okay, well, if you no longer work there, you're no longer benefiting from those benefits.
And guess what? You're 20 years older. Some people, just give an example, some people 20 years older, 30 years older, they might have injuries and sickness since then. Group insurance, you can't just transfer. The only group insurance you can, if you have health group insurance, after 90 days of leaving, you can bring that with you, right? You can say, oh, listen, I have insurance, I'm leaving my work, I want to bring it with me. But the life insurance, you can't just transfer it, right? So now you're years older, you're either sicker or something else. So now you're at a disadvantage. Your family is at a disadvantage. Your estate is at a disadvantage. Now you have to pay more. And I just saw somebody said that he has a payout of 10,000. He already paid 15,000. Maybe this person was so sick and maybe he didn't tally, right? The disadvantage with is that the 10,000, you're hoping that you die before that 10,000. So the first year you pay $100, but if you die, you have 10,000. Second year now you pay $1,200, but you still have $10,000, right? So $2,400, you still have 10,000. It's only after a time that and the only time you give the person like this is when they're much older or sick, right? Because you know they don't have much time to have. So more than likely they won't outlive that to reach that amount, right?
Right. All right.
So a lot of people, I mean, there's a lot of different insurance. You got like life insurance, your auto, your home,
Mhm.
so on and so forth, right?
Mhm.
Um, I've had conversations with people where they figure they're already paying for auto insurance, so they're not gonna get home insurance, or they don't then they're not gonna get life insurance because they don't need life insurance,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Um, would you say is it better, is it cheaper for somebody to get a bundle of like maybe all these three insurance? And does your company allow that?
So you can bundle car insurance with life insurance because they're two different insurance altogether. So I am HLLQP licensed. That's life insurance. Car
Right,
insurance is a different insurance,
right,
right? However, you can bundle insurance, like for example, this. I sat with you, I realized you need permanent insurance for your final expenses and for your estate planning. You need term insurance for your mortgage job, for your kids who go back to college, make sure to have something there should anything happen to you. You need critical illness because you don't have any critical illness and you're right now you're healthy. You want to make sure that you secure your health before you get sick. And you might need a little disability. So I can put all those together because all those are can the critical illness, even though a person doesn't have to be licensed
right.
as a life insurance to sell critical illness because it's called accident and sickness license. Some company only sell accident and sickness license insurance, so they have the accident and sickness license only. But you can, as a life insurance, we can bundle all in one and give you because when you bond them and you layer them, bandwidth will give you like different thing. You get it cheaper. If you can put all together, band it and layer it only on the life insurance aspect of it, then you can get it a little cheaper than if you say, let me give you this individually, let me give you that individually, unless you have your, say you, Sophie, I can't afford, but however, I need critical. Now that's an individual standalone, what
Right.
we call it standalone policies, which is different than group policies.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can bundle a car because it's two different license. However, with the company I partner with, we partner with about 50 different companies. We don't have products of our own, which I love. Because guess what, novelist? I'm gonna say, let me see which one gonna give me more money. Okay, novelist, this one is for you, but I know it's not for you because
Right,
I just looking at my pocket.
right,
Right.
And if a person does not do uh, what we call FNA, financial needs analysis with you,
Yeah.
I can give you a quote because you asked me, but I can't close you without doing a financial needs analysis to know where
right,
you are. And another thing I would like to say, a lot of people are scared of confidentiality. And what a lot of people don't know that you have a right to say to report Sophia. So Sophia go and report go on. Oh, guess what? Guess what? Jewel, Novel's got insurance with me. He got 10,000 and you get
Yeah.
mad because you don't want her to know. You're your friends.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. I don't have the liberty because of privacy and confidentiality, ethical practice and all that to go and tell her your business.
right,
Right.
Even both of you are married and she comes to me. Jewel came to me and she said, you know what? I just want to have something without my husband knowing. I just want to do this and that. I can't go and tell you. That's breach of confidentiality,
right,
breach of trust. Because she trusts me to hold that confidential to her. So
Yeah.
it's a very sticky industry, but we don't
right,
know our rights. And because we don't know our rights, we think that people are going to expose us or
Mm-hmm.
people did do it to us and we put the whole industry on an umbrella and say, no, I don't trust, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that takes a lot of. So disclaimer, trust and confidentiality and all that is so important.
That's good to know. And also, I think some people may feel away because they feel as if they can't afford it. And they think, oh, that's a rich people thing. You have to be financially in a situation, a particular situation, in order to invest in life insurance. So,
Good statement. And the reason they will say that, if they don't act now, then later the cost is going to come on them. They
right,
act now that you're young and healthy. As I said earlier, health and age make a significant difference.
Right.
So if you do it when you're young and you're healthy, you have nothing to worry about.
Right.
You pay less for more. But if you do it when you're old and sick, then guess
Yeah.
what? You pay more for less.
Right. Right.
That's the cost of waiting.
It's so true. It's so true.
Yeah, so get started on life insurance, guys.
I have a question. Like you watch those kind of crime movies or even like things on social media, and is one person, like, okay, you mentioned a married couple, is one spouse able to take out a life insurance plan on the other without them knowing?
They will have to know. The reason why they will have to know, because they are the insured. The insured have to sign. Unless they are even
mentally incapacitated.
Because you must have
incapable.
The insurance is the principle of insurance. You must have insurable interest. If you're taking care of this spouse and this spouse gonna die or whatever, and you want to protect that, you want to know that there is insurance for this person when they burial because you don't have that money in the pocket or whatever, then they will make the insurance company decide, okay, it's like a child. A child can't sign as an insured. They can't sign as an owner. They can't sign as a payer. The parent does all signature. So I guess at that point, the agent can go to the company and say, listen, my client, this is the situation. What can I do? That normally what we do a scenario to the insurance company. We say, this child is this child is that. I know of children who has been 3 months old and got denied insurance.
Oh, wow.
Right? So it's a privilege. I always tell people it's a privilege to have insurance. You understand? We take it for granted. We think I don't want because of this and that. It's a privilege because not everybody can afford it. Not everybody can have it because of one reason or the other.
Now, people they come to you and they say, oh yeah, all right, I want life insurance. And they hide information. Can they hide their medical records, or how do you get that information from them? Do you they have to go to the doctor and give a good bill of health? What happens then?
So the insurance have their ways.
Okay.
There are some people under 40 years old, automatically you can be insured once you answer all questions, automatically you get approved, called system approved, because the system have not detected anything that will cause them to worry. However, they have what they call the contestability period, 2 years. So within a contestability period, if you're saying, oh, and me don't tell her, I always tell my client, disclose everything.
Yeah.
It's best for them to know now and you know where you are than for you to go and your parents, your loved one, don't know where they are because they're being rejected because you have misrepresentation on the policy.
Right.
So it's always best to be transparent. Get that little rating if possible. Get whatever, but don't.
Somebody's saying they're so proud of you, Sophie. Very informative.
Thank you.
Cordelia.
Thank you, Cordelia. Yeah.
Yeah. Great information. So we want to encourage our people, our melanated people, our Caribbean and African descent people to go and invest in life insurance, secure yourself as you are living and secure your family, whether or not you have kids, you have dependents, still you think about when you're not there, there's things that need to be done. I had to be a part of a process to bury my cousin, and it is very expensive. A minimum funeral is $30,000.
Yes.
Right? So think about these things. It's important.
Yes. And as I said again, too, I think a lot of people are scared. Oh, she's going to judge me. I don't have. We have to remember, like me, I talked to you about my situation earlier. I didn't have anything in place. So I know what it's like to have nothing. But I was glad. I'm very thankful to Mario, who introduced me to this business, to this opportunity. Because if it weren't for him, I would have still been in the dark. And I would have been in a worse place because guess what? I had no income coming in. I had nothing being done. So what would have happened if I didn't get the education how to maneuver my life, how to maneuver my children, my family, my friends.
Right.
If I didn't get that, I would have been in a bad situation, because I've been in a blue bank since I've been in this country. But I had nothing. I had a house, I had a car, I never leased. But given that I had died that day, it would have looked like I had nothing at all, because everything would have gone into my estate. And my kids would have gone into foster care before any of my sister would have said, "Oh, guess what? I can take care of them for her." They would have gone through the system already, and God knows alone what would have happened to them, going through the system before anybody could actually reach them.
So, advice to someone who is thinking of getting life insurance, even if it's not from you.
Yes. So the thing about it, life insurance, just make sure you have the person do a financial needs analysis to see where you're at. Make sure that the company that they partner with sells more than one, because you want the power of choice. You don't want to go, if I go into a blue bank, red bank, green bank, and I ask for something and I have money, they're not going to let me out. They're not going to say, "Oh, guess what? You can go to the blue or you can go to the red." No, they're going to sell you. So make sure that that company that you go into, the person, they have a variety of products. So when you say they do a needs analysis, they actually have what you need and not what they have. What they have is for their pocket. What you need is for you and your family. So making sure that your needs analysis, it's aligned with what they have is important. And that's the best I can tell you, is to make sure that they do a needs analysis, be transparent as possible. And you also tell the agent, say, "Listen, this, I'm trusting you with my information. And if you divulge it to anybody in my friends and my family, because you don't know them, I will not take it lightly. I will report you." You can hold the agent accountable. Hold them accountable. So that's what I will say. Just make sure that you're in a place where you have the power of choice.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I was one who was hesitant to get life insurance, but that was years ago. And because I was one of the people who had insurance at work too, right? And I figured, I got life insurance at work. Why do I need double life insurance? Why am I paying at work and still paying for something else? But if I didn't have a life insurance after tonight, you would have convinced me to sign up for it. So
You know what?
it is. Go ahead.
Nonetheless, it's so strange you said that. Have a client that he said to me, "Oh, I have a full-time job now, and I'm going to get life insurance and so forth." And I gave him a list of questions. I said, "Listen, I'm not going to tell you to cancel it or not cancel it. I'm going to tell you it's not going to be good. It's going to be a temporary thing. Going to be a bit, maybe 25,000. It's going to be a bit. You understand? Because they give you a percentage of your income and so forth. But nevertheless, these are the questions you go and you ask her." I think that review is still on my website. And he came back and he said, "Oh my God, Sophie, thank you." Because he asked the lady who is in charge of that, the admin there, and they answered every question. And he realized that canceling what didn't make, and he have lost that job many, many times over. And what happens? You're stuck, left without anything. So yeah, I'm glad you made a decision to get something, even though it was later and it would have been cheaper at that time. But I'm glad you made that decision.
Oh yeah, my insurance is not expensive at all.
Yeah, because you probably have term.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then 20 years from now it expires. How much is it going to be? When an agent asks offer you term insurance, if it's not only for temporary bills, ask them to show you when it's time to renew how much it's going to be. Right. And you will see the arm and the leg. You can't afford it when you need it.
This is the exact conversation I was having with a colleague of mine.
Yes.
Yes.
A lot of people sell only term, and they will deter you from buying permanent. But if they show you the cost of renewing, and they show you and you compare it. So for example, you are just say 30 years old, you're paying $15 for term, right? Say $200,000, $15. The same $200,000 as a permanent, you might pay $50. but you're gonna pay $50 for the lifetime of you paying that. If it's a 30-year payment or 20-year payment or 40-year payment, the lifetime of that is $50.
Yeah.
When that payment expires, even though, remember, that is growing investment, not only because the term insurance is still the term insurance,
Right.
but that $50, the $15 you're paying, now $35 is going to the investment part.
Mm-hmm.
So now, 30 years from now, that investment has grown because of the market and all that.
Mhm.
Now you no longer have to pay that after 30 years. That is your permanent policy, and you have the investment portion. The investment portion will take out a little bit, yes, and pay, but never out your pocket again.
Mhm.
And it covers you for life. That policy now goes to your family. But the term, it's cheap because it's always, I could give you a term that is cheap. As I said all three. So if I do a needs analysis, you need term, I sell it to you. If I do a needs analysis, you need whole life, which is the most expensive insurance. I do whole life. If you need universal life, I do universal life. So don't mind the now, the cheapness now. Is most of the time is when you need it for final expenses, and so there's nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Great information, Sophie.
Right.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
For having me here.
Let's lighten this conversation and play that game. No, seriously, it's important. Sometimes there's always a time and a place for important conversations. And we thought that, over the next few weeks that we're going to have some very important conversations about things that our people don't like to talk about. And they don't like to talk about it because they don't know about it. And, so we're showing them that it's important to know about. So thank you for that.
A lot of people don't know where to turn to, right?
But sometimes it's not only us. Novelists is not only us, because if you Google Rob Ford wife, she's paying over $300,000 in estate fees. That meaning where they have their investment, the person didn't educate them properly. How can they protect their investment from probate taxes? So she's now suffering the consequence. So it's not only us. We assume that people out there have the information. But
that's true.
Public knowledge, Rob Ford wife right now is paying for lack of financial literacy.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
thank you.
Thank you.
Doing a lot of background check is important. Asking a lot of questions.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Well, quick cuts.
Yeah. Quick cuts. It's almost that time. So.
Hey, go ahead.
You want to start, Joel?
Yeah, I pulled up an old question list, but the new ones I couldn't find it. But so the biggest risk you've ever taken.
The biggest risk? Mm-hmm. No, but I can't be naughty on this. I have to be nice.
Of course, it's Dissect.
You gotta be yourself.
The biggest risk I've taken has been naughty, so I can't say it here.
Oh wow! Oh wow! Okay.
It's okay. Well, let's leave that alone.
Okay. Was the risk worth it?
Was it worth the risk?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's like having ice cream on a nice hot day, and then you drink it down with a nice glass of refreshing cold water. That's exactly.
I like that.
You like? I almost scared. I asked. Okay, so wow.
You want me to give her another one?
Yeah, sure.
What is one thing you wish you were better at?
People. I wish I were better at being a people person. People say that I'm afraid. I love people. I love people. But I'm the kind of person, if I go to church, I come out, I love it, I'm gone. I'm not, what I'm working on is having that more people person skill. Like I come directly to the point. I ask direct question. So I need to be a little bit more people and get that, be empathetic, I wasn't empathetic because I'm a crier. So I wasn't empathetic, but I say be more, the Bible said that in order to have friends, you must show yourself friendly. And I find that I am not friendly when I go out. I talk to everybody, anybody, doesn't matter who you are, but I am not friendly. So walking on that.
I think I'm the same.
Yeah.
You see me, we talk, but it's like,
but
you know, when I'm home, and it's like, and plus I'm like, I have a super busy life. So, you know, but anyways.
Okay, so I never asked this question before. Never thought I ever had to question. Any celebrity crush?
Oh, celebrity crush. Oh gosh, it matter if it's young or old. Okay, I joke.
No matter.
I am done.
You know what? I am not in any fashion or form anyway, but I fell in love. I was telling somebody first that I saw Angelina Jolie in a movie. She was, I can't remember if she was a prostitute or what, but she was the cutest. I'm like, oh my God, I just love this girl. I fell in love with Angelina Jolie that day. So that probably the only real celebrity crush I had.
What movie was that?
Oh my, she was young, cute, sweet. Oh my God. I've never seen a woman so beautiful in my life.
Yeah.
I have to go look up that movie now.
A lot of us liked Angela Jolie.
Yeah. But she was really sweet in that movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Gigi.
That's an old movie.
Yeah. She was so sweet, so precious. I just wanted to take out that show and just put her in my lap.
But she's so tiny. Oh gosh. Any regrets?
Oh gosh, regrets. I learned a thing or two. Regrets. Sometimes when you look back at life, you want to say, "Oh, I regret I got married. I regret it." But when you look back, without those experiences, it wouldn't shape me in where the person I am today. Because now I'm more mindful of the person I'm bringing in my life. I'm more careful of the things I do to people. You know, I'm more mindful of seeing the cues of when they're showing up because I was in a very abusive relationship. So now I'm seeing the little cues. If somebody says something the wrong way, I don't say, oh, people say, oh, when we get married, it's going to change, or when we're dating. If I find you say to me certain things while we're talking, not even dating, I don't even give you the next look. So I wouldn't say regret. I say experiences that shaped me in the person I am today. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
No.
All right. I have one more, and then Joel, you could ask the big question. Loyalty or respect?
Oh God, loyalty. I think loyalty. For me, respect can come and go. Respect. I think loyalty. I believe that when you have somebody that is loyal to you, and loyalty doesn't base on respect can come from anybody, right? Respect can come from an older person saying hi, thank you, a younger person saying excuse. You know, those little minor things people might think as respect. But loyalty, when it can break you and it can make you, a person is loyal to you, it can make you where you can say, I can tell you that Jewel will look out for me. I know Jewel mom, and she's a person I see as a loyal person.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
So on other people you can say, I don't think so. I don't think she or he. No, I don't, you know? So for me, loyalty is more important than respect. Okay. Respect is just a matter of how you take it. Respect is how you're treated. Yeah. Loyalty, rather, is how you're treated. Respect is how you take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like how you break that down. You know, some people, a lot of people choose the respect. I choose the loyalty too for the same reasons.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Everybody got going gravy.
One last question. Something that has made you laugh the hardest.
I laugh at anything sometimes, but what makes me laugh? Today, actually a friend, what should make me laugh? sometimes, you know what? I think putting out public, let me put out public aside, my granddaughter and my grandson.
Oh my gosh.
When they are together and they are doing this stupidness and the way they get mad at each other and I'm not talking to you at 3 years old and 4 years old and they're going on. And by the time you look, you see them hugging like nothing. And you're like, so that in itself. And one thing I want to add to it, my grandson taught me when he was 2+ is to love unconditionally. This girl was bullying him. And I was mad. As a grandma, you're mad. And she was just taunting him. She was just giving it to him. And this little child, 2+, just went up and grabbed this little girl and hurt her. And for the rest of that day, that child was never the same to him again. And I said, look, a 2-year-old plus can show how we can calm even the angriest of person or the worst behavior of a person by just giving that hug. So that really shaped how I look at things as well.
Like that.
Yeah, that's big. Well, Sophia, thank you for joining us. It was educational, informative. I hope a lot of people out there take life insurance serious. And if you want to tell anybody where they could meet you, go ahead and do that right now. Where they could find you. Sorry.
Okay, if you want to get me on Instagram, is just me, Sophia 70. Yes, 70. Just me, Sophia 70 or 437-992-6532 or S Waterman. That's SWATERMAN 120TJC at wfgmail.ca. Thank you for listening. An amazing platform. Keep in tune with Dissect. Continue to listen to them. Let it be part of your regular evening.
Thank you. I think, Jewel, I think you're muted.
So there's a message from Yvonne Glory. Of course, you know who that is. That is my mom. She's saying, Jewel, don't forget to tell Sophie I love her.
I love you too.
There you go.
I love you too, Miss Yvonne.
Right.
And then Cassie says, thank you, Miss Waterman.
Right.
Oh, thank you, Cassie.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
so we had a lot of viewers. People were just not here. They were back there, but they were kind of shy and taking it in and being educated. So thank you for tuning in on all the platforms.
And Sarah said she want to kiss me.
All right. Well, take care, and we'll see you around.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Right, take care.
Bye-bye.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Sophia Waterman. That was pretty informative.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to squish such important information in 1 hour. But we always manage to do it somehow, and then invite them back to be a guest again.
Of course.
Part two.
So, part two. So we'll definitely keep in touch with her, future guests. And next week we don't have our banner up for next week because our producer is not here, and I've been co-producing all night. So
next week we have Jay Fire. He is I don't want to give his age, but he's a very young he's under 12 years old, young soca artist from Toronto, Ontario.
He's under 12 years old.
He's under 12. He is probably like 8.
Oh.
He's probably 8 years old, 8 or 9. I didn't want to say. I think he's about 8 or 9.
Okay.
But he has a really great song, Juve Morning. He showed up on CP24, and his video is showing right now on Synergy TV in Trinidad. So he's doing big things. Yeah.
And he'll be here with us next week, 7 p.m. TDN TV, Dissect TV. Please subscribe to the channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You guys could watch some of the videos again, and share it with your people, share it with your family, educational stuff. And we don't do, well, I wouldn't say Black history, but this feels like a good Black history, some Black education, some
Black history's every day. So.
Yeah, of course. See you guys next week.
Peace.
Peace.
So I'm Janine Zabi across. I'm Janelle Zabi. And where's Zabi Street?
So this is what the beats on the inside and we're ready to come.
Are you, Jewel? You know I'm hidden talents that you're not talking about.
I just get to the bar. Ain't no bar, I'm saying drum.
Yeah.